Astronauts to the moon.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaronism, back with another video for you today.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Some of you have opened your eyes and you can see all the lies that they sell you, but many of you have not, and you still don't quite realize that you're under total control. So this video is kind of for the haters, the ones that just love to curse me out 15 times over, calling me every name in the book, all because of how stupid I am. I'm such a moron. So just watch this video. Hopefully I can show you how we feel, how it looks from our end. But again, don't trust me. Do your own research. You need to find your own truth. But I'm telling you, before you comment how much you hate me and all the ways you want me to die, watch this video. Think about it for 10 minutes. Research it for an hour, maybe even 2. And if you still feel like I deserve your hate and your deeply ingrained anger, well, so be it. Curse me out. I know my parents are siblings. You're embarrassed for the human race. I should be drowned. Enjoy yourself. Then go ahead and enjoy your fake ball Earth. So let's see. Where should I start? How about, NASA.
Trouble in space this morning as the International Space Crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts. Well, I don't believe those are astronauts. Yeah,
Where's their spacesuit?
Yeah, where is their spacesuit? Are we going to keep making excuses or realize that's a room with a model ISS and a model Earth? Next, let's watch a 1980s surgical procedure.
Now came the most critical part of the mission. 2 space surgeons began a complicated operation to replace several black boxes buried inside the satellite. After slicing open the skin, they disconnected hundreds of wires and then reconnected them using the cargo arm as a moving work platform.
Cut these wires to pick this guy up here.
Okay, that's it's a little bit more.
So we can see your hand now. See if we can see your thumb.
Okay, well, that's a good scan of it.
Yeah, I got the M cut. Just now to get.
We can see your hand now? We can see your thumb? Watch again at this pressurized glove as it bends just like a normal thumb would.
It's a little bit more.
So we can see your hand now. See if we can see your thumb.
Okay, well, that's a scan of it.
We can see your hand now, we can see your thumb. We can see your hand now, we can see your thumb. You think I'm really stupid, but I'm really not that dumb. You call yourself scientist, I call you filthy scum.
From 1969 to 1972, lunar takeoffs, never an issue. What a ride, what a ride.
Navigation flight.
Yeah, just an easy reconnect with the ship, and back you go to Earth. Yeah, an easy 250,000 miles. And we made 6 of those takeoffs. Never an issue. NASA can't even go a year on Earth without some sort of huge explosion. Yet 50 years ago, they went 6 times, and there was never an issue. 250,000 miles. If you got in your car on Christmas Day and started driving 60 miles per hour and you didn't stop, not to eat, not to sleep, you wouldn't get there until June 15th. 173 days. And time out real quick, because you all like to laugh and joke. Ha ha, flat Earth, you'd be able to see China from the USA. Well, I think you're a little bit confused. Flat Earthers admit and understand that our sight is very limited distance-wise. Remember, it's you that thinks you see details and craters on a moon 250,000 miles away. It's you who say that the sunspots that I've taken pictures of are on a sun 93 million miles away. Even better, the furthest star that the human eye can see unaided is 95 quadrillion miles away. So, is it the flat earthers who are crazy or the ball earthers? I'd say the crazy ones are whoever believes this is what the sun looked like on Halloween just because NASA says so. Oh, I haven't seen any articles on it yet, but I did take this image of the sun yesterday. Whew, look at that. Interesting magnetic dark spots. Almost looks like a word. Who knows? And in this clip, the person asked the question we all ask after the plane has landed. Are we on the ground?
Hey, Roy, are we down now? That was, are we on the ground?
Absolutely. It was beautiful, and you certainly lived up to your motto this flight. Welcome home.
Yes, sir, we deliver.
Next, we get to watch the miracles of modern science. Those very high, very expensive, very impressive satellites. Thanks for keeping my internet and cell phone going strong. Satellites in space, we thank you. Now, that was just a joke. If you actually think your internet or your cell service come from space, then you should probably study your holy text, because even Wikipedia, the NKJW, says fiber optic cables and cell towers. Alright, let's watch some satellites. Feel free not to question any of these, because science says they're true, and we worship men, so let's go.
A communication satellite launched from the cargo bay on a spring. Later, the satellite's built-in booster rocket would hurl it into a much higher orbit. Many more of these launches would follow, each bringing its own breathtaking beauty.
Can't you just sit back and admire the breathtaking beauty? Or you can build your own. For this particular satellite, you'll need a paper plate and a paper towel holder. Up to you how many paper plates you use. I always double or triple them up. You know, you need a good sturdy base for the 4,000 degree temperature it'll face, plus the constant onslaught of solar radiation. Then, deploy.
Each bringing its own breathtaking beauty, improving communications to link the countries of the world, telling us more about Earth's resources and how to use them, helping us predict the weather, and teaching us more about the alien environment of outer space.
I mean, what more do we need to call this a hoax besides the music? This one here is a bit more expensive. It requires a toilet and then wrapping it in a bed sheet, so I don't recommend that. Who has that kind of time and money to waste anyway? Only NASA.
That's a nice view of the sun right there.
And that's not the sun.
There's a lot of joy
If
on
that's
the
the
flight
sun,
deck.
then this must be the moon. Well, he certainly seemed real excited. They deploy the satellite, and he says, I guess.
There she goes. We have a deploy.
I guess.
In both cases, the satellite's booster rockets fizzled out, and they were stranded in space, one after another. The 3 satellites are launched into perfect orbits. 2 of the satellites using the same booster that caused so much trouble in the past. A dark cloud hanging over the space program has suddenly vanished.
Vanished. I'd say the dark cloud over the space program is about as dark as it's ever been. Now, you may not know this, but the shuttle, or the orbiter, does not have any jet engines. It's supposed to be a glider. So you tell me if you can hear the sounds of a jet engine, or if it sounds like a glider.
Touchdown. Discovery now rolling out. Runway 15.
It just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck. Oh, my.
Bill, you're preaching to the choir. Now remember, there is no sound in space. Yes, it could vibrate through your suit and into your microphone, but watch this clip and tell me if you think that we can hear sounds in space. Space. And this, yeah, that is the shuttle on top of the ISS that flies around the planet at 17,000 miles per hour and takes pictures like this.
I don't think so, Tim.
I mean, look what you got here. A nice table set for 4. You got your gold napkins, you got your plates, your chalices, even a centerpiece courtesy of Japan. So what everyone needs to realize here is that we're being tricked by a fisheye lens. It takes what we see with our own eyes and distorts it into a ball. I mean, of all things, we're being fooled about where we live. I mean, it really isn't even trickery. It's simply teach the lie and tell people the truth is stupid.
Provides you with full, circular, 180-degree fisheye images, giving you very dramatic images and video footage. But the coolest thing is that you can zoom in to 15mm, where you get a fisheye image that covers the full image circle, giving the lens a dual role. So this is an incredible lens for shooting inside any beautiful building, or if you simply want to embrace some new perspectives and get creative.
You mean like, I don't know, fooling 7 billion people? I need an expert opinion. Crime Box, your opinion of this, please. Really, it comes down to perfect mathematics, you see. It's not a hoax. It's real. You live on the most perfect shape of all shapes, the sphere. What's more round and accommodating than the sphere? How do you know you can live on a sphere? Because someone told you. If you think we didn't land on the moon, then you're a knobhead. Don't ask me any more questions. I think I better get out of sphere.
But let's take a look at sharpness levels. We'll start on a full-frame camera, in this case, a 20-megapixel Canon 6D. At 8mm and with the aperture wide open at f4, we see fantastic sharpness, colours and contrast in the centre of the image. The sharpness is also very good in the image corners, although we can see some chromatic aberration or disturbing...
Look familiar? Of course it does. Fooling the world with a fisheye lens, no stars, no 24-hour feed, no live night shots. NASA basically has no evidence for anything it tells us besides its word, and honestly, how good is that? We've got Charles Bolden, who outright lies to Congress, guilty of perjury, and nothing happens.
A recent Scripps News article documented what appears to be a massive overuse of premium air travel at NASA.
But when an oversight committee tried to get answers during a hearing last month,
I'm not responsible to the media.
NASA Administrator Charles Bolden didn't tell the truth to Congress while under oath and confronted with this.
You yourself using a first-class ticket to travel from D.C. to Los Angeles at a cost of $1,600.
I'm not sure how they got or where they got the data. I don't travel first class. I don't travel first class. I don't travel first class.
But take a look at records NASA provided us, and you'll find that Washington to LA upgrade right here. After the hearing, Bolden wouldn't answer questions.
Sir, your communications director next to you gave me this report, which has you flying for $1,600 from Washington to Los Angeles in first class. Now, can we trust anything that you're telling us or Congress, sir?
And after all that, late tonight, NASA is doing an about-face, admitting that Bolden did take that first-class trip from Washington to L.A. after all, with a spokesperson emailing to say that he made a, quote, inadvertent oversight during his testimony before Congress. Still no word back yet on our other unanswered questions.
Now, Bolden testified that he gets some upgrades using frequent flyer miles, but to date, NASA has provided no proof of that.
What is our next destination for America in space?
The next destination for America in space, and I'm not being trite when I answer this, is the International Space Station. We've got to get there 4 more times this year. The long-term destination, after we successfully close out the space shuttle program, the ultimate destination is Mars. And there are intermediate points that we're going to have to get to before we are capable of going to Mars. If you gave me all the money in the federal budget today, I could not get a human to Mars. I could not morally put a human in a spacecraft and launch them on an 8-month mission to Mars because I do not understand the radiation.
All right, so what is our next destination in space?
The next ultimate destination is Mars.
No, the next one.
Congressman, the next destination, as I said before, is the International Space Station. And we've got to do that 4 more times.
Let's not be trite then. What is the one after that?
It's Mars.
So there's nothing in between as far as you're concerned.
But there are intermediate stops on the way there.
What's the next one?
The moon is a destination. Lagrange points are destinations.
Which one is next?
You mean where do we go immediately next? Is that the question?
That's what next means.
Congressman, we are in the process of developing a program. I will have to be able to give you the details, and I will come back and make it for the record in the coming months.
So why are we even talking about how to get to the next destination? We don't even know what that is.
Congressman, we do know what it is. We know what
is it?
Congressman, we can go back and forth forever.
We seem to have to here. I'm looking for an answer.
Okay.
I mean, what a joke. These aren't even tough questions, Bolden. Next. What is next? What we are allowing here, because many people cannot grasp the deception, is absolutely insane. Bolden is a liar. NASA is a fraud. I mean, just look at some of these images. Do these look real to you? Come on, people. I mean, it's time we wake up and at least question these liars. Here, I've got a $3 trillion Final Jeopardy question for you. Category is the International Space Station. For 15 years, the ISS has been in operation. Name one benefit that it has brought mankind. Anything. Just one. All right, pens down. Let's see how Jaron did. I've always liked that guy. He said, what is absolutely zero? That is correct. NASA is a total fraud, a total hoax, a rich man's trick, black budget thieves who are faking space. You got Bolden the liar. Oh, and right now you got that other liar up there, Scott Kelly. You know him. You know his twin brother, right? Also a lying sack of trash. Mark Kelly. You know what he's been up to? As if faking space missions wasn't enough, now he's parading around his wife, Gabby Giffords, who is pretending she got shot in the head. Yeah, pretending to be mentally challenged to push the gun agenda. These people are sick.
Achoo! Oh, thank you very much. Good puppy dog.
Nelson lives to help. But the happy truth is, Gabby Giffords doesn't need as much help anymore.
I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
Each day a little better?
A little bit better.
Yeah? As you recover, are you trying to sort of get back the old Gabby or trying to find a new Gabby?
The new one. Better, stronger, tougher.
It would be hard to imagine anyone tougher than Gabrielle Giffords, the then Congresswoman who went to meet with her constituents in a Safeway parking lot 4 years ago and left with a bullet in her brain.
How far have you seen her come?
A long way. I mean, in the beginning, what were the first words you would say?
What? Chicken, chicken, chicken.
That was it.
Chicken, chicken, chicken.
Over and over again.
Chicken, 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 chicken.
That's all he said.
Chicken, chicken, chicken.
That's actually a good thing, because just think of how many other words it possibly could have been.
Right, exactly. Right? That's true.
Now, before you go saying I'm insensitive or I don't care about those who are mentally challenged, you're absolutely wrong. I care for those who are mentally challenged so much that I'm willing to come out and call Gabby Giffords for what she really is. A disgusting excuse for a human being and a flat-out liar. She's as full of shit as it gets. Here, let's all take this test. Close your right eye. Pretend you have zero sight there. Now hold out your thumb and start to bring it around towards your nose
like you can't see,
until you can see it.
Finger.
Now watch the clown do her act.
Yes.
So all the right side peripheral vision. But you know what? It just gives me an opportunity to sneak up from that other side.
The spark in their marriage is as bright as ever. They know what each other is thinking before they say it, and that's crucial. Because for Gabby, the saying part remains the most frustrating challenge.
When you've got something that you want to say, and it just can't seem to get from here to here.
Awful. I'm so sad.
The condition is called aphasia.
Everything's almost on the tip of your tongue.
Yes, it's tip of the tongue.
But just not quite all the way there.
All the way.
Yeah, which is it's pretty frustrating.
Yes, frustrating.
Even frustrating for me a little bit.
Yes.
I try to be patient. Sometimes I try to help. Sometimes I'm not helping.
Yeah.
And Gabby tells me.
No way, Jose.
Music, it turns out, is easier than language. At 44, she's trying to relearn the French horn. She used to play it in marching band.
Is that from when you had in high school?
High school.
It's your same horn.
Yeah, the same horn.
And you hadn't picked it up for years and years?
Years. Oh, no, not really.
So what was it about public service that always inspired you?
I have a passion for helping people, always have.
Mark Kelly was in public service of a different sort. A Navy captain and test pilot, he joined NASA and flew 4 missions aboard the space shuttle, commanding the Endeavour's final flight, while Gabby was undergoing brain surgery.
What was that like for you?
It was hard. You know, she was on the operating table literally as I was looking out the window flying the rendezvous. We're both going 17,500 miles an hour, and I've got to fly this within about 2 inches to docking while Gabby's in there with the neurosurgeon.
Did you worry about him?
Yes.
You worried about me? My last trip into space?
Yeah.
It's risky business. It's not quite as risky as being a congresswoman.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know if you've ever met anyone who has been shot in the brain, through one side and out the other. That'd be pretty shocking if you did, because over 90% of those shot in the head die. The other 10% are severely challenged the rest of their lives. She was, of course, a miracle patient, you know. And Gabby and Mark now are nice enough to speak with the poor grieving parents like at Sandy Hook, which was just another full-scale exercise. Don't believe me, though. Do your own research. It was a fraud, so she could parade around and talk about gun control laws. And if you can't see the deception, well, of course, you'll just feel bad for her. But if you do any research, there's no way you can feel bad for this fraud,
You just feel like,
this no-good liar.
You know, it's kind of an obligation to try to do something about it.
Not that they dislike guns. Both Kelly and Giffords are avid gun owners. In fact, Gabby has been learning how to shoot with her left hand now.
There's no reason why we can't have, you know, our right to gun ownership and at the same time do everything we possibly can to keep guns out of the hands of the dangerously mentally ill, felons, domestic abusers, stalkers.
Dude, your wife is mentally ill. I just saw her shooting a gun. Do you realize that? Or even you can't keep these lies straight. I went to space. I didn't go to space. My wife's retarded.
Congress
No, she's
is
not.
afraid of the gun lobby. Tell Washington it's too dangerous to wait.
It didn't even work, as Congress failed to pass the bill again.
It was a pretty shameful day for Washington.
A bad day. Bad day.
Why do you think nothing has happened in Congress on this issue?
Oh, so slowly. Slow pace, slow pace.
But is it just that it's slow? It doesn't even seem like it's making any progress.
A little bit. Stopping gun violence takes courage.
She and Mark were back on Capitol Hill earlier this month, trying again.
Do you think you'd ever run for office again?
Maybe.
No, things happen to you in life, and there's some things you can do something about it, and then there's other things you can't, and you just move ahead.
Move ahead.
You just have to keep moving.
Moving, yes.
Plugging away.
Plugging away.
Ugh, she makes me sick. Absolutely pathetic. You just look at her eyes there. There's nothing wrong with her. Not a thing. She's a clown pretending to be mentally challenged after she faked a gunshot wound to her head. And there is a ton of evidence of this, so leave a comment if you need me to do a follow-up video on just the Gabby Gifford hoax. Simply pisses me off. Well, now we get to watch her skydive. Yeah, skydiving. She had part of her skull removed, and she had to wear a helmet because any head injury could be life-threatening, but now she's going to jump out of a plane. Yeah, go ahead, Gabby. I really hope your parachute opens. In February of 2012, Jeffrey Zaslow was the guy who wrote the book Gabby, A Story of Courage and Hope. He was killed in a car crash. I'm sure that just was random. And yeah, you have to see the whole story if you want. The doctors that did her surgery said that the bullet went from the back to the front, and then like a week later changed it and said it went from the front to the back. Quality neurosurgeons, I'm sure. Firefighter Mark Ekstrom, 28-year veteran, refused to go to the Safeway when Gifford was shot, saying he wanted nothing to do with the political bantering. Says, I don't want to be a part of it. 2 days later, after his boss talked to him, he quit. Retired. So anyway, comment if you need a detailed video. It was 4 years ago, so maybe everyone knows. But if you don't know, Gabby and her dumb astronaut husband are scumbags.
Is this a hard day, January 8th? Happy and sad.
Yeah. Remember the people that were lost that day. I mean, Gabby had, 6 of her constituents and, staff member murdered, including 9-year-old Christina Taylor Greene. So it's a sad day, but at the same time, you got to move on.
You got to
move on. You got to move ahead.
And move ahead. Thank you very much.
Since the shooting, Giffords has seen remarkable recovery.
I think we'll focus on these.
Fueled mainly by her relentless determination to heal.
Beautiful.
Can you show me a little bit?
So when Gabby's laying down, she can take it from here to here.
There was a time when you couldn't No.
Yeah. So.
You never give up.
Yes.
Frustrating sometimes to not
awful. Oh, awful.
find those words.
Awful.
The times, like in a day, that you might have a hard time, like, remembering a word, or it might only, when it happens to me, maybe.
All of us.
Yeah, it happens to everybody. But you just can't find that right word, and that's what Gabby has to live with, but magnified.
But this is a woman with ambitious goals.
For yourself and your recovery, what are you hoping to accomplish?
Spanish.
Really?
Yes, Spanish. Fluent.
Well, Gabby was fluent in Spanish.
Yes. French horn.
And
The French horn.
get back to playing her French horn.
I heard that you can still sing a little bit.
Yes. The sun will come out tomorrow. So
3 years later, Gabby Giffords wants her voice heard in every way.
Be bold. Be courageous.
This year, she went to Congress, traveled the country to push for enhanced background checks, something she believes might stop other senseless shootings.
The nation is counting on you.
Are you frustrated at Congress, the place you used to
awful. So sad. Awful.
It's hard for them to get stuff done.
Yes.
Very polarized.
Worst Congress.
Do you ever think about returning to political office? Would you want to?
Well, a little bit later. Maybe.
What do you want people to know about Gabby Giffords and how you're doing now?
Hard to find the words.
Yes, hard words. So slowly. A little bit slowly.
How's your outlook on life?
Pretty good. Yes, pretty good.
Optimistic?
Optimistic.
Well, back for a moment to the singing. Apparently, the part of your brain that enables you to sing is in a different place than the part that enables you to talk. And you can see it is still very much intact. So it's just incredibly charming. She burst into song without any provocation, guys. It was incredible to see. And one thing I want to make really clear, even though you can see from that interview that Gabby struggles to find her words, she understands everything. You don't have to talk slow. You certainly don't have to talk down. She has an incredible grip of everything that is going on around her. And she maintains that spirit, that personality, that bubbliness, and that sense of humor. And I think that has a lot to do with why she has recovered so well and made such tremendous.
Yeah, so all actors. The world's a stage. Giffords is shot January 8th, and less than 2 weeks later, after a bullet goes forehead through the back of the skull. She's released January 21st, less than 2 weeks later. Her head doctor, Dr. Ree, 24 years in the U.S. Navy. And the shooter, Jared Lee Loeffner, well, you can't see him plead guilty to all 45 felony charges because, of course, no cameras were allowed in court. Disgusting liars. Here we have Giffords' brother-in-law, speaking of disgusting liars, Scott Kelly. Watch him get in trouble for using his hot mic. Then he questions, what'd I say? Then, oh, I remember now.
It is black on yellow. Try. Oh, man. Yeah, it's serious friction fit.
Nice work.
That's something.
Don't forget your hot mic.
Well, it's not done yet.
I said don't forget your hot mic.
What did I say?
Nothing yet.
Yeah, I get it.
Here we have Buzz handing over his little apron that he took to the moon to the Supreme Grand General, telling him how he claimed the moon for the Lodge of Tranquility Base. Lots of Masonic references, and Alex Jones actually asked him a good question here regarding NASA and their Masonic connection.
Mr. Aldrin, I always wanted to ask you this. We saw the photos, the little Masonic flag to the moon, and some of the names of the missions and the numerology. Is there anything to that, or what is the Masonic influence? We know there's a Masonic influence in the founding of the country. What is the Masonic influence on NASA?
As far as I can tell, zero. There were some Masonic brothers of mine in Texas that wanted me to take some kind of a Masonic emblem to the moon in some gesture of, I don't know what it would be a gesture of, but I told them that it was not within my my authority to do such a thing.
Well, what do you know? Once a liar, always a liar. Thanks, Buzz. We're looking at the letter here you wrote the Grand Master of how honored you were to take the flag to the moon. Clown. I'm going to change the words of Neil Armstrong's famous first step.
It's one small step for man, one giant
Lie.
for mankind.
There we go. That's much more realistic. Okay, guys, listen up. This is the key to the entire flat earth controversy or debate. It really is simple, believe it or not. Why were we all taught the globe from the time we could walk? Why are we all told it's the absolute unquestionable fact of all facts? Why are we told flat earth is stupid, ancient, and primitive? Why are we shown globes in every logo, and why are they in every classroom? Well, that's simple. Because it's not possible to live on a globe. You can't live on a sphere. I get it. They taught us that we can and do, yet they forgot something very important to the truth, and that's called proof, or evidence. Without it, the only way to teach it is by forcing it down our throats from the age of 3. You couldn't not believe in the globe during school. It was scientific fact. But is it? Just like I asked you at the start of this video, take an hour and think about it. Are some people on top of the globe and others on the bottom? Try to explain it with a, well, each person there right side up is nonsense. To each person's perspective means nothing. It is metaphysical. It's a belief. It's not science. Look at the birds on this image. Are they flying upside down? How about the planes? Is it raining up in Australia? If you want to say there is no up and down in space, well, then you have to realize that the astronauts orbit because they're falling. Falling up? Look at the red shirt versus the blue shirt here. Do they have the same curvature when looking to the east? Nope. But you'll be told that they do, because from each of their perspectives, blah, 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 nonsense. You'll hear gravity, and this proves or does this or that, but there's no proof. It's pretty simple. We've been fooled. So, before you curse me out, just think. To those of us who see what's going on here, it's killing us that you don't. So if you won't listen to me, listen to George Carlin. Scientists, at this point, it's clear. Government science exists because to them it's just another weapon. A weapon used to force an agenda of control. How did they use this science as a weapon? Well, they used the data to set the path, and that data only comes from NASA. Not independent science organizations built on truth, not a organization that cares about people in any way. Nope, a U.S. government agency built to keep people in line. We are under the control of reality builders, people. Reality builders. They make roads and fences out of data that they invent out of thin air. Invented lies that suit their purposes. Why not, right? They invent money out of thin air. Thing is, why is everyone so afraid to report on the single biggest hoax ever? Fake science. Fake space. Fake planets. Fake stars. Fake distances. Fake moon landings. Everyone is stuck. They all think it couldn't be. They refuse to look at facts or to consider the evidence. All we get is people who parrot the experts. Science, like the US government and like the big banks, have bought out the media. And everyone loves it. We know the truth, and here it is for you to see. We know the components, and here's what they do. Here's how you find them, and here's how they are changed. Here's how you diagnose it, and here are the treatment options. Here are the side effects, and here are the drugs to treat it. Here's the system, and this is how it works. Here's your manager, you report to him. Here's how you report it, and the data that you are to record. Here are your objectives, and this is what happens when you stray. Here's the data from the things that you cannot see. Here's the data and the facts that show how these things interact. Here's their distances, and here's their directions. Here are our observations. Here's the theory, and we are now looking to prove it. Here are the foundations, and here are your tasks. Here's the math, and here's the formulas. Here are your questions, and here are your answers. We will inform you when new improvements or changes are needed. Here's what we are teaching, and what you will teach. This is the path. These are all the facts, and they are correct, because nobody can question what science has decreed, because all science is the truth.
And that's the way it is.
So, share this video. Drop it in your social media, like, comment, doesn't matter who. Get it out there, because guess what? You guys live here too. Space is fake, and as George Zimmer would say, I guarantee it. Time to get some justice and some truth, and it comes down to this. If you believe in the moon landings, you have done no research and trust men who tell you to. If you believe in space, you haven't done any research besides taking the data given to you by some Masons. If you think evolution is a fact, you simply decided to listen to Dawkins tell you it is, rather than go and research it yourself. If you think you live on a ball, well, we all did. And when we challenged it, we found the proof that there's no evidence. It's a religion that hates the Creator. And if you're an atheist, how in the world do you think you exist? Oh, right. You think you live on a ball. Because it was taught, and because you hate religion, you fail to see that you worship the worst one yet. So, take care of each other, don't lie to each other, and open your minds. There's truth inside. This has been Jaronism. Till next time.